on my website, right? Let's say I wanted it to be the right color, so I'd have to do some sort of way to access that information. I would say color red. Now all of a sudden, my text is red, right? This is the basics of website building, right? Call it web development. You have your HTML and your CSS. So I have a question for you. Someone tell me what HTML is.
Hypertext markup language.
Yeah, but what does it do?
Makes web pages
How?
through the HTTP protocol.
Why? What does that mean?
It's the protocol that understands the markup language.
So what
And
is
renders
it understanding? What, oh, I love that word. What did you say?
and it renders it in the browser.
Yeah, what is it rendering?
The markup language. Markup.
Yeah. And what do you write inside of the markup language? What kind of information does the markup language store?
Tags and text.
Tags and text, right? So if you want to put in text words, you can put it here. You want to put in pictures, link to videos, you put it in HTML. Does that make sense? It's also like the structure. When you said tags, like we structured things with different tags. Like an H1 tag is like, this is the title, right? If you wanted to have, like, if you wanted to write a paragraph, like, today in Lubbock, it was windy and cold. So if I wrote that, then that's more in a P tag, and the text is more without, it's not as large, and it's not bolded. Does that make sense? You can do things like, you can do like list items. You know, and you can do stuff like text align. This is going to mess up my list, but text align potential. JavaScript is like JavaScript is like what y'all did last night, which was super fun. So we won't get there because it's just a little bit kind of advanced. There will be some in the project we look at, so if you are studying this stuff or you know about it, there's an opportunity to play with it. But this is HTML and CSS. HTML provides the content and the structure. Someone tell me what CSS does.
Provides the color.
I love like makes it looks good. Makes it look good.
Creates a consistent format.
Yeah, format style. Like without this, guys, without that, then it's just like ugly and just black and white. Like if I showed this project to someone, are they gonna hire me?
No.
Most likely not.
Guys, this is Jeffrey. He's a founding instructor of the Lubbock Coding Academy. He's a hero. He took all this on his back and has just done a great job for his students and made all this a reality. So, good to see him. He's amazing. Really lucky to have him. All right. So, anyway, if you do not have a chance to download Git and VS Code and all the things that I'm about to do, if that's confusing for you, raise your hand and ask one of our tutors or volunteers to help you and just do cool stuff here. Add pictures. Do the same thing that we're doing, but do it in CodePen. So if your computer isn't working or you don't have one, you can play with CodePen. Okay? If you have a computer and you've downloaded Git and you've downloaded VS Code, then I want you to go into github.com and you should have made a profile and you should be signed in. Is that communicated to you all? Does everyone have one? Okay, and if you don't, you can always go back to working on the CodePen. So within GitHub, we're all just right now, I don't know, at github.com. Within GitHub, we're going to navigate to github.com/ and I apologize, we did start in Austin, So we're going to call it Austin Coding Academy for now until we get the Lubbock Coding Academy up. GitHub.com/Austin Coding Academy/learn. GitHub.com/Austin Coding Academy/learn. That is actually step number 6. We're on step number 6. And you know you're there. You know you're there when it says Austin Coding Academy/learn on your screen. I will walk around and make sure that you're there. Step number 6. There you go, sir. There you go. You doing all right? Good, good, good. Y'all are all right? All right. So we're gonna do something really, really cool. Well, 1 second, real quick, while y'all are catching up. Have a good game, and we'll be connected next week in the next meeting.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good night, man. Thank you. All right, is everybody here? So the first thing we're going to do is step number 7, which is called fork. And I want to explain a little bit about how it works. So basically, learn is the name of a repository. Does anyone know what a repository is?
Kind of. Like a study room or something like that.
Bunch of folder, project folder, right? Exactly. So the repository is the same thing as a folder. It's everything all the files for the project. So basically, all that a website is files talking to other files, showing up on your computer, being rendered by a browser, right? So learn is a project folder. Within the project, you have different files, and we'll look at them in a second. Right now, learn exists in the cloud. So it's on the internet. You know what is the cloud? Another computer.
Like a digital hard drive.
What is the cloud? Everyone says it's on the cloud.
It's like
Move to the
Kind
cloud.
of like a digital
remote
hard drive.
services.
A cloud is a bunch of computers that don't have monitors spread out all over the world that allow us to share files back and forth. All it is files going back and forth from a bunch of different computers that don't have screens to a computer that has a screen, that has a browser called Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Firefox or Edge or whatever the new one is, and then it shows up in front of you. But it's just files talking to files. They live on the cloud, which is a bunch of servers all over the world. I don't know where GitHub's servers are, but somewhere, right? So that's where it is right now. Whose cloud is it under right now? The Austin Coding Academy GitHub cloud, right? Well, I want you to be able to edit it for yourself. So we need to make a copy of this and take it from the ACA cloud to your cloud. Because if it's on your cloud, then you can change it. So the process of taking it from here to there is called fork. I don't know why it's called fork, but it is. So everybody, you see where it says fork at the top of the screen? We're going to go ahead and we're going to click on it. It's going to say where. Well, you should have only one choice if you're signed in. Fork it to your own repository. So now you have your own version of it. Look at it, it's a fork on a book on a copy machine. Hilarious, right? Developers are so funny. You know it worked when it says your name / learn. And you made your own copy. Congratulations. You have your own copy of a project to work on. So cool. Everybody good? Y'all are making this seem easy. All right. So now you have your version of Learn up in the cloud. Okay. Now, if you want to make changes to this, where's the best place to do it? If you want to change some of the code in some of these files to make it look different, do you want to do that while it's in the cloud, or do you want to do that while it's on your computer?
On your own.
It's like a very bad leading question. I'm sorry, I didn't think of a better way to ask it. But yes, while it's on your computer, right? Because if you make a change, you want to make sure it works before you deploy it to the main project, right? You want to make sure that if what's your name, sir? Troy. If Troy's working on it, and what's your name? Aaron. If Troy and Aaron are working on the same project, that his changes aren't showing up live in your screen, because then you're going to get confused, right? So you finish your changes, and you both send them up the cloud at the same time, and then they can fit in the project together, right? You add the photos, and you add the descriptions, you send them up together, they fit perfectly, then you work on the project. But if it was like a Google Drive type situation where one person, you can see everyone typing, can you imagine coding like that? It'd be so confusing, yeah? So we need to take it from the cloud down to our, this is my rendering of a computer. Take it from the cloud to the computer, okay? The way that we do that is with a term called clone. We're going to clone a copy from the cloud down to our computer. Now these are all the same right now, right? By the end of the night, these are all going to be different. That's why we're setting it up at the beginning so that it works correctly. So we're going to move on to step number 9. This is where things get a little bit hairy. So a lot of us have never used a command line interface, also known as a terminal or a console, different words for it. Basically, have you ever seen like a hacker movie or something where there's like green text on a black screen and it looks something like this? Ever seen something like this?
Kind of.
Where, you know, it's like, looks really hacky, kind of cool. So, in order to get this from here to here, we're going to use what's called a command line interface, which is a way to interface or work with your computer using commands instead of using a mouse. Okay? It's the same exact thing. Clicking on a file and opening it from here is the same thing. Back in like the 70s or whenever they invented computers, this is how they did it. They didn't have like a nice user experience with like a mouse going around or like your phone where you like click on things and move. It was all like typing to access files, right? So all it is files. There was no visual component to it. So we're going to go a little old school today and learn how to use non-visual command line to understand how to clone something. Now, let's look at what's happening. What information is on the screen? It says Chris's MacBook Pro 2. What is that information? It's the name of my computer. Right? And then who's Chris Lawson? Is that the user? So if there was another user, it would be the name of my computer and somebody else, right? So we're in what's called the root directory of the computer, or like, this is the highest level of my file system. If I type a command ls, don't have to remember that, just know ls lists all of the folders inside of the user. So if you look at my computer and you look at my files, I have about 12 different files with different names, like desktops, documents, applications. Right? Well, what does that look like to me? On a Mac, you open up Finder. On a PC, you open up, I think, File Explorer. So if you have File Explorer or Finder, open it up. Just check this out, guys. It's my desktop. See how it says desktop right here? See how it says desktop right there, y'all? This is my desktop. See how it says documents right here? These are my documents. Look, it says downloads. This is my downloads folder. Right? So if I CD'd or moved into my desktop, that would be the same thing as me clicking on my desktop. Look at all of the files in my desktop. Don't judge me, Josh. I don't know. I use my computer a different way now. I don't care what it looks like. I just function. But anyway, check this out, right? This is what's in my desktop, right? So in your File Explorer, you should look at what's in your desktop. Or if you're using Finder, look at it. And then guess what? If I change directory, move to my desktop, so now I have my desktop open, and I type ls, meaning I want to see what's in my desktop. Everything that I just showed you is right here, y'all. Look at that. I said, look, this is everything that's in my desktop, and it matches exactly with all of this. If I did it by name, we could just follow right along. Does that make sense? Of how the terminal works. Okay? So, what I want you to do is I want you to, everybody, open up your terminal. If you're a Mac user, you're going to open up by pressing Command Spacebar and type terminal. But most of y'all are PC users, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to the bottom corner of your computer, and there's normally a little search bar, right? You're going to type in, it's called Git Bash. And it's only going to be there if you downloaded Git earlier. But it's called Git Bash. So I want to see everybody's screen looking like they're computer hackers now, like this, okay? If you need help opening something up, everyone in here is qualified to help you.
Joe, get everything all right?
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
Click on
go
Git
to
Bash.
Jesus.
Perfect.
Okay.
There we go. Doing it. All right. So what I want you to do, once you have this open, I want you to type CD space desktop, meaning we want to navigate to our desktop folder. The way that you know it worked is that you have desktop in the line. Everyone seeing desktop there? Okay, good. We're going to move on to step number 11. So we need to go back to our browser. And we're going to click this green button that says clone or download. And we're going to click this little, can you see something like, we're going to click on this clipboard. And what this is going to do is copy this link. This is where your repo lives. github.com/your username/learn.git. This is where your GitHub repo lives. You're going to copy it. You're going to go back to your desktop. You're going to type git space git space clone clone space, and then you're going to paste. If you're on a PC, you have to right click and then press paste. If you're on a Mac, you do Command V. Git space clone space https://github.com/clogin/learn.git. And everyone here? And we're going to clone this. We're going to take this from the cloud down to our computer. On the count of 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3, boom! Oh dang, look at that. We are cloning into Learn, enumerating objects, counting objects, compressing objects, packing objects. We're making a copy of this repository onto our computer. You should never do what I just did. Just everyone do it at the same time. But I think it's funny. So we'll see if it works. Is it working for y'all? I'm stuck at 37%.
Exactly where you are.
Y'all are stuck at 37? Alright, we'll see what happens. Does everyone get to this point? If it works for you, go ahead and find it and open up this folder in Visual Studio Code and start looking at it. I'll walk around and make sure everyone's here and able to clone it. Did you get it? Nice. You got VS Code? Start playing with it? Did you get it? Did you get it cloned? Oh, you're doing the code pen? Cool. Keep working with it. Nice. You get it cloned? You're stuck on 37% too. Did you get it cloned? Got it. Got it. VS Code. You good? You doing all right? Get it cloned. Open the VS Code. Did you get it?
So scroll all the way down to where your cursor is.
Yeah, and then
I
just
learned
open up
some
the VS Code. So go to Visual
this
Studio
in
Code.
high school, and I can't remember some
File.
of the stuff.
Do what?
And now you're
One time I went to high school, and then it's like I'm trying to remember what I did in high school.
Oh yeah, I was real big into it in high school too. Getting back into it, really.
Yeah, it's like, what's the thing to make it go in another line?
Do
So,
what?
Like, what's the thing to
I'm
make
trying to
it do this
reduce it
number
to
or
the
that
least amount
number?
of instructions possible.
You know?
Like
Yeah.
it's like
When you
crazy
really have to do
complicated.
something
Alright,
or another.
Like commands or certain
you guys are
tags. Or...
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm totally. This is the best any group has ever done with this. Seriously, incredible job. Everyone normally here is like half the people leave because they're like, what? All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open Visual Studio Code. So however you feel comfortable opening up programs on your computer, if you use a PC, you can like type Visual Studio Code. For a Mac, I always just do Command Spacebar and type it. And you're going to go to File, Open Folder, File, Open Folder. If you have a Mac, it won't say that. You just do Open and then open it from the folder level. So I'm looking at my files again. I navigate to in my File Explorer or my Finder to my desktop to a folder that says Learn, and I click Open it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have proof of the contents of this project. Check this out. Look at all of this. This is my project files. This is the website Learn, and this is it all right here for me to learn with and to play with. Pretty cool, right? We have it. And if you have these instructions, you can go figure out how to do this later on your own. The next thing we're going to do, everybody here, everyone has it open? If you don't, we have 4 people here to help. So we're going to go back to our Finder, our File Explorer. We're going to go to Desktop. We're going to organize by date modified if you're really messy like me. We're going to open up the Learn folder, and we're going to open up the example.html. The example.html is the example that we can use for tonight's lesson. We open it up, and now all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, we have a website open up in our browser. So I want everyone to have the example website open on your computer.
Y'all getting everything okay?
That was smart, man. I'm excited about this.
How are you doing?
Yep. Gotta remember some of the stuff for it.
Yeah.
I took a class in high school for Webster, but it's been like
We're really
my
excited
senior
about
year,
how your class
Yeah.
is going.
like 2 years ago, since like, yeah, I'm trying to remember some of that stuff.
Yeah, I get that. I took a class in
Alright,
one class that covers
so,
barely
I did it in one,
alright
one
guys,
school.
I apologize that I have the wrong logo in here. You know what? I do this in Austin, I do it in Lubbock, I do it all over the place. Do it in Louisiana, and I just mess up sometimes. I don't know if I can fix this. Oh, there you go. All right. So I'm gonna fix it. So what am I doing? I'm grabbing a picture, and I'm trying to move it in there. So you see how I've added the LCA logo to my project folder. So now if I go into the example.html, where I find my image, and it says example portrait, I can change this to /, which is how you access a file, LCA logo. And we're not in Austin anymore, we are in Lubbock, so this should all say Lubbock. This is the process we went through to start the school. We found everywhere it said Austin, we just changed it to Lubbock, and then we had Lubbock coding again. Just kidding. And so now that I've changed that and I saved it, guess what? I refresh it, Lubbock Coding Academy, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta change the picture too, but okay, we'll get there. You always learn things, right? I'm learning it now. But anyway, that's cool, right? That's how you build a website. And I want you to build a website like this. And even cooler, I want to show you something. There's this incredible thing that you can do on your browser that says, look at it as if it's from a phone, right? And so I'm looking at it as if I'm on a tablet, and if I scroll down to like a phone, this is what this is going to look like. That's sick. So 60 to 80% of the internet is consumed with a mobile device, right? So you always want to build with that in mind. And if you look at this, I built a responsive template that you can use to edit and make your own website. So if you basically grabbed all of this code and all of this CSS, you could have your very own responsive website that you can put your own content in. Okay? It's pretty exciting. And notice what happens here. Do y'all see? This is what the website looks like now. Here's the nav on the left side of the page. Notice what happens as I get lower than 700. See how the width is 705? If the width becomes 700, it's fine. But if the width becomes 699, all of a sudden, the nav bar, the navigation bar, the menu bar, which was on the side, shoots up to the top. It's called responsive design, right? So my website responsive. I want it to look good on a phone. I want to optimize it for phone. I want to optimize it for a computer, right? Any questions on that? The way that that's working is that in my CSS, I use what's called a media query. And I said at the minimum width of 700 pixels, this is what it looks like. Otherwise, if it's less than that, it's going to look like this, right? Y'all know about that? Yeah. CSS grid for you. If you don't understand this, that's okay. It's something that we teach in our classes. It's something that those of you who have a web design background can play with. It's cool. CSS grid is awesome. I don't know if you tried Bootstrap, some of the other grids, but CSS grid is the best one. All right. So I want everybody to go ahead and close the examples, and I want you to open up your index.html. It should look like this. It's your turn now. Yes, the index.html is inside of your Learn folder. How's everybody doing with that? Everyone find this? So, this is the basic setup, the basic layout for an index file. So you have HTML, which everything is wrapped inside, because HTML is what this language is. So we put everything in an HTML tag. We should have a doc type tag. I didn't do it, but we should. We have a head and a body, okay? The head is for metadata that won't actually show up on your web page. The body is for data that will show up on your web page, okay? So for example, the head, I'd put the title. So everyone put your name, Chris Lofton's website, as your title. So everyone put that in the title. Put Chris Lofton's, no, don't put Chris Lofton, put your name. If you want to put my name, you can. You can make fun of me. You can like make a joke, a parody about me, and if you want. I don't care. I won't take it personal. So you put it there, and then everyone save it. Hey, and check this out, ladies and gentlemen. If the white dot is there, it's not saved. Okay? You have to save it. You do Command S or you do File Save, just like back in junior high when you're doing Word. File Save will work. It's a waste of time to click File Save time, so Control S or Command S is much faster. Is everyone kind of good with saving it? Now we're going to go back to our Finder, and instead of showing the example of the example HTML like we were looking at, we're going to open up the index.html, and I want you to notice something, ladies and gentlemen. At the top of the page, look at that. Look at Chris Lofton's website. You see how it says that? That's sick, right? That's the title. Note how it's not on the main page, it's not in the body. It's not going to show up in the main part of the page, but it's up there at the top because it's the title, right? So have you ever wondered why this site says Awesome Coding Academy up here? Because that's the title. Why does this say Coding Bootcamp Lubbock? Why does it say that up here? Because that's the title. Why don't we call it Lubbock Coding Academy? Why do we say Coding Bootcamp Lubbock? For SEO purposes. Because we know people search Coding Bootcamp Lubbock, and we want to rank first for that, so that's what we titled our page. Does that make sense? Anyone into SEO? Digital marketing?
SEO,
Search engine
search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization, I apologize for not explaining better. So like if you search Coding Bootcamp Lubbock, what are you going to find as your first result?
Ads.
You get a coding bootcamp in Dallas that's probably trying to get you to do online, but notice this is an ad, right? You get Hack Reactor online, notice it's an ad. You get Coding Bootcamp Dallas, you notice it's an ad. But what's the first organic result? Us, right? Because we're real, Google ranks us higher than anybody else because we actually are here. What's the third result? South Plains, right? What's the maps result?
And what?
It's us, right? So it's cool, and honestly, we should probably do an ad.